How are you? And welcome to day 4 of a class a day with me. So if you are just joining us, grab a pen and paper. Not sure where this class is going to take us. We'll see. What I've done there is I've just taken a drop of peppermint essential oil in my hands and I'm just breathing it in. I'm just trying to come back to the present. Been a bit all over the shop and I just need to come back and kind of ground here for a second. So that is the oil of a buoyant heart, and to kind of open up that heart space and wake me up a little bit. So, all right. So I thought that what I would do this afternoon, is first of all, I'm just going to shuffle my beautiful new cards that I absolutely love. So I got the Oracle of Essences. And I'm just going to kind of set an intention or see what card. Actually, I probably should do this tomorrow instead. Let's see. Okay. All right. So Litsia came up. Litsia is expectations and empathy. So let's see what we have here. Sorry. Okay, if I am capable, I am deserving, I let go of any expectations of infinite abundance flows through me. So that is a little affirmation to start. Litsia is a beautiful fairy, like a cousin to Melissa. Big gold coins surround her. There you go. Symbolizing abundance. And when we're in the right frame of mind, a cascade behind her signifies a movement of things as she sits on a wishing well, symbolizing the material things that will flow if you help others regardless of what you receive from it. So there's a little start to the class today. So for those of you who've been following along, the class tomorrow is going to be about the healer in every home and about you. And today is all about emotions. So I did this amazing training, probably I think it was last year or the year before. And it was emotions and essential oils. So it's actually the author of this book ran the training on how to use this book and how to teach an emotions class. And emotions was something that I didn't really look at for a long while with essential oils. I was kind of all into the medicinal, the cleaning and the practical use of it. And then as my journey went further down, I was down this track, I was like, okay, I'm ready to get into the emotional side. And it is one of the classes that I absolutely love the most, doing things like women's circles and, joining and helping and growing together. So I wanted to share with you, there's 10 oils that I want to actually talk about today, which help my family immensely with emotional support. And these are the actual emotions type oils, emotion and mood oils. And then from there at the end, I want to use what I learned from this class and the wheel to figure out what emotional oils might support you. So if at any time you want to write any emotional issues that you're having, or, if you're happy writing it on a public space, but I'll kind of go through a few things of what I would do if I had that emotional issue come up. All right. So for those of you who are watching live, if I share the screen, you're not going to be able to see it, but I will talk it through anyway. Okay, so there are 4 oils called your mood management oils. Now, this one here is called Elevation. Now, I use this as a perfume for probably the first 2 years of my essential oil journey. So what I did originally is I bought the Home Essentials kit, which was kind of the best kit to deal with everything. And then I bought this, which is a mood management oil. These are like the fun oils. You put them in the diffuser and they work so, so well on emotions. So your Elevation Before elevation, if you're feeling a bit hopeless and withdrawn, when you use this oil, it really helps you become inspired and encouraged. It brings joy back to your life. Smells absolutely beautiful and is the best perfume that I think I've ever smelled. I absolutely love it on me. Whenever I wear it, I always get comments. And that was, I never actually set out intentionally to change my perfume. It just happened that I started using that and I never went back to perfume again. So elevation is actually, and these are very, very self-explanatory. Think about what elevation means. It's like to lift up. So when you're kind of down and deep and dark and you need to be lifted up, you're wanting elevation to support your mood. Citrus Bliss is invigorating. It is when you're feeling unmotivated and discouraged and you're wanting to bring in more invigoration, stimulation, motivation. Putting this in the diffuser is amazing. It's great to lift the mood of the house. All of the citrus oils will bring the mood up. So that's another great one. Balance. Now, balance is so, so, so grounding. If you are tense, if you are worried and you want to feel reassured and consoled, this is the one for you. Now, it is one that I use every day. As I said in the class yesterday, I have a roller on top of the toilet that I rub across my belly and on my feet every time I go to the bathroom. It just brings you back to the present. It stops your mind from going to the past or to the future or worrying and, all over the shop, and brings you back to the now. There's an amazing picture of your blood cells when you use a drop of balance. What happens to them? It actually separates all of your blood cells back out so that, you can stops that situation. So balance is an amazing one. And lavender peace. So lavender peace is if you are feeling that angry feeling, that impatient, and you're just wanting the restful, the calm, the composed. Great at nighttime. Kids love this one in their rooms at night for sleep time. So that is those four are actually an amazing value too. They're only $124 for the four of them if you have a wholesale account, and I use them a lot, especially in just day to day, a lot in the diffuser, a lot in roller bottles, lots with the kids, these ones. Now, so they are your mood management oils. Now, the next ones, what doTERRA did is they formulated 6 emotional aromatherapy oils. Now, I was one who I was like, I don't have any emotional issues to deal with. I don't need these. And then since I bought them, I have used them so much. They are absolutely, I love. There's probably 3 of the 6 that I use almost daily. So again, I'm just going to flick over. Okay, so cheer, and very self-explanatory as well. Cheer. What do you think cheer is going to do? It's going to lift you. It's going to make you happy. It's going to promote feelings of optimism. I can't read what I've got in here. It counteracts negative emotions of feeling down because it makes you cheerful. Diffuse at home or work or school to promote a positive, uplifting environment. And cheer and uplift is full of spices and essential oils providing that cheerful boost. Okay, so cheer, so self-explanatory. You know what cheer is. If you need more cheer in your life, you need cheer. Peace is the one that I use every afternoon in the diffuser when the kids get home from school, when it's that borderline, like, are they going to go absolutely crazy or are they just going to be like nice? So peace often is in my diffuser. It's the best smell. It's from, peace, reassurance, contentment, and it counteracts those anxious feelings and those fearful emotions that come. So peace is smells absolutely delicious. It's full of things like vetiver, which is so grounding, lavender, ylang-ylang, frankincense. And it's just, if you need that reassurance, if you're upset or if you just need to, just that reassuring pieces when you grab. And again, also go with your intuition with these. You actually notice that they're actually linked to chakra colors too, if you're into that type of thing. Passion is if you're lacking passion for life, if you need more fun and more passion in the bedroom or more passion in just for finding you, then bring this one out. It's good in the morning to, energetic, bring that enthusiasm into the household, like get ready, get out, get ready to go to school. Apply to your pressure points in your heart. This is where I put all of these. Keeping in mind, I always dilute with fractionated coconut oil. All of my oils, I will always dilute them to make sure that they're safely used. I do have all of these in touch bottles, rollers ready to go, and I have them in the car ready to deal with whatever emotion comes up. But passion is kind of a bit spicy. It's all of those inspiration, the passion that you need to feel in life is what you need, the passion. Peace, I did. Oh, I've got 2 pieces here. That was good. Motivate. Now, motivate is when you are like, I just can't be bothered. Put motivate in the diffuser and off you go. You can actually do things. So it's really, really good. If you need to get stuff done, it's like you get shit done blend. Put it in the diffuser, and I usually use this one for my cleaning because I hate it, and I usually procrastinate until, it's too late. And so that is motivate's always in the diffuser. If there's things that you need to feel confident about, you need that courage, then put motivate on. Now, these 2 are the other 2 that I use a lot when I've got emotional children. Forgive and console come out. So forgive I often use for myself. If I've dealt with a situation wrong, I will lather myself in forgive. I will also put forgive on the person. Say I've had an issue with one of the kids. They need forgiveness. I need forgiveness. It's great for patience and just relief and feeling content. It really helps to contradict the negative emotions like your anger and your guilt that comes along with issues and that you perhaps didn't deal quite well with. So forgive is another amazing oil. And the last one in that 6 is actually console. This is your comforting your blend. This is your comfort. It's your hope. It's your when it's like that big mama bear hug, when you just can't handle anymore, you need console. When really negative emotions come up and grief, I've known a lot of people who kind of put this on at funerals, and just when you're super, it's so hard to be consoled, then this is someone you want. So they are the 6 essential oils that are in the actual emotional aromatherapy. So peace, console, passion, forgive, and motivate and cheer. So those 6 together actually come as an enrollment kit. So you can get your wholesale account started with that kit, the 6 of them in a diffuser, and they're only, I think, $300 for those. And they are a must, I think, for every house to help deal with emotions, because they're there, they're ready. doTERRA have done the actual mixing and figured out what oils need to go and what blends with what to what actually works. They're a definite must-have. All right. The other ones that I quickly want to talk about before we look into you is hope. No, that's not hope. Hope. Hope's disappeared off my bench. So hope oil is the one that is a mixture of 3 different essential oils. So it's frankincense, the oil of truth, ylang ylang, the oil of the inner child, and bergamot, the oil of self-acceptance. Now, that particular roller bottle, I grabbed this one. It's Manuka, but that's the one I've looked similar to Hope. Anyway, this particular Hope oil is $26, and $26 of that goes straight into a fund called Operation Underground Railroad to combat the sex trafficking of children in Thailand and Colombia. So what they did was they distributed the oil around the streets of those countries, and it had a little flap on the actual bottle where they could open it and call the number for help. So when they distributed it, the people said, call the number on the bottle, told them what to do. And then once you actually use that oils, it actually promoted their feelings of truth to find out who they actually truly were, to bring back that inner child and have that self-acceptance that they are not really who they are in that situation, and to help get them out. So that essential oil is very, very, very special to me, because at the moment we've pulled over 1,500 kids off the street purely, and then they're put into rehabilitation programs just to get just from people buying the Hope oil. Really wish I had it there. So again, it's a really great one to use as perfume. And if you need those things like the oil of the inner child, who needs more fun? Who needs more play? That's ylang ylang. So using it in that oil, that blend is perfect. You've got Frank, the oil of truth. Now, since I've started using frankincense, things have come out. The true me comes out, and I'm really getting to the point that, if you don't really like me for who I am, sorry, that's your problem, not mine. And that's kind of something that frankincense does. It brings out your true person, who you actually are. And bergamot, the oil of self-acceptance. Now, I know that so many people that have used this oil, when they're low, when they are, they're not confident. It's that whole self-accept. They're not happy with themselves. They've got all of that type of stuff happening, and using bergamot on your heart every day and anchoring into things like your I am statements. I am good enough. I am okay. I am this. Really, really, really has helped a lot of people. So that's your bergamot, which is also in your Hope. So using those three, that roller every day is very, very powerful. Now, all right, I'm going to show you this book. So, Emotions and Essential Oils. Oops, sorry. All right, so in this particular book, does anyone want to give me an essential oil that, first one that pops to mind, and I'll read out the emotional reason and what the emotional healing behind it. Come on, one of you. Choose an oil. Or I'll just open it and ask it what I mean. This is what I do. So, really great way to do it is to ask the book what you need, open it up, and choose left or right before you open it so you don't cheat, because often you go, I totally don't need that. I want to be that one instead. Okay, so I just opened up at lemongrass, which is the oil of cleansing. So lemongrass is a powerful cleanser of energy. It dispels feelings of despair and lethargy. Lemongrass assists individuals in entering a healing mode or a cleansing state. In this state, one easily lets go of old limiting beliefs, toxic energies, and negativity. It's always so right, this. Lemongrass teaches individuals to move forward without hesitation. It asks them to commit to a healing path where change isn't a regular occurrence. Lemongrass can also be a powerful tool in cleansing the energy within the room, house, or office space. It encourages individuals with hoarding tendencies to constantly let go of everything they no longer need. The reason I'm laughing is I walked in here and went, I've got to clean this room about 5 minutes before I came on here. Lemongrass also clears negative energies from the brow chakra or spiritual eyes. As individuals let go of past issues and stagnant energies, they have an increased ability to see situations with greater clarity. It supports the individual's energy in flowing freely and smoothly. Lemongrass has a powerful mission to assist in cleansing physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, it works with the negative emotions of toxic and negative energy, despairing, holding on to past, hoarding, darkness, and spiritual blindness, and it helps bring in the properties of spiritual clarity, cleansing, non-attachment, discerning, and releasing what is no longer needed. It also tells you what to do and how to use it. I use this book all of the time as in conjunction with this beautiful wheel here. Now, this wheel here, depending if I'm working and making up rollers for the kids or myself, this is an example of one that I've put all of my chakra crystals in it as well. And I can't actually remember what this one was for. I'm thinking but it's got Arbor Vitae in it. I know that. Arbor Vitae is all of divine grace and bringing in that goddess energy. So what I do is if I'm doing something for me and wanting to make it an emotional roller, I will look at the negative emotions that I'm trying to combat and trying to change out of or change that mindset. So, if I'm lethargic and I'm unfocused and I'm jealous and I'm body shaming and I'm procrastinating, then I will look at which oils help support that and make up a blend and anchor it in from there. Withholding voice is a really cool one. So spearmint, if you have that, your throat chakra is blocked, you're not speaking your truth and you're holding back, using spearmint helps to open that up. It's incredible. Great example is what was somebody that I knew had a messy, she had to have a meeting that she was going to get blamed for something that she didn't do. So she made up a blend of things like bergamot, self-acceptance. We've got spearmint, the oil of confident speech, frankincense, the oil of truth, and she lathered it on her neck before she went into this meeting. And it just all came out and they were blown away because this mouse of a person just was like, they just kind of went, oh, okay. So that is how I would do it. When I give this to the kids and are dealing with the kids' emotions, I get them to look at the positive side. So what they want to feel. So they might want to feel protected, which is on guard, or they might want to feel grateful, which is spikenard, the oil of gratitude. Maybe it's they want to feel more connected. So then I get them to have a look at what they want to feel, and then they make up their own rollers. So again, always dilute. Follow the naturopathic guidelines, which I give you when you get a wholesale account with me. Now, I let the kids choose their crystals as well. But I also actually often just let them intuitively choose what they want. And it's amazing. They will always choose something that resonates. They don't know. They don't have the background knowledge that I have on the oils, and they just always choose the ones that are right. Luca just absolutely loves spearmint, oil of confident speech, but he wants it in his diffuser at 9 o'clock at night. Doesn't happen. All right, so grab a pen and paper. Let's figure out what oils you need. Now, just a little bit of background on how essential oils work for emotions. Something happens in your brain. You have a trigger. So a really great example of this is when you're getting into that negative mindset, something has happened to trigger you off, okay? So let's just pretend that this is a frying pan, okay? One day, it's happened to me, I was camping and I picked up the pan with my hands after I told the kids not to do it. And then I touched the handle, and obviously it burnt me. So straight away I was, I've got a burn on my hand. I remember the pain. I remember the smell. I remember where I was and everything. So the next time so basically that is like a fast track in your brain, okay? Next time you go to pick up that pan, you've already in that situation. You've already felt the emotions. You're already feeling the pain. You know not to touch it. Okay, so that's how your brain kind of works. It goes on these like fast tracks. And the idea is to change them so that you're not always responding to those situations. Now, I have got an oil blend here, which was my anger mix, because probably 2 years ago, I was really, really, really snapping at one of my kids, and it was that fast track. So he would do something and I was reacting to it even though it hadn't happened yet. I was, treating him as if he had already thrown his sister down the stairs, even though that hadn't happened. He just had started yelling. So because, it goes on those super highways and you're snapping without you even realizing. So what the oils help to do is they stop that emotional response and change those super pathways and rewire your DNA in your brain. Now, a lot of this stuff actually comes from past generations. It comes from issues and traumas that have come through all the DNA. And, that's kind of how the family patterns and things start. So when the really cool thing is when you can try to change this for you can change it for your future, your children, and things from here on in. That pathway has changed. So it's really, really, really cool. Now, there is a lot of technical, science behind all of this and a lot of big words, but that's the real basis of it, okay? All right, so let's have a look at this page. Now, if you have essential oils on you, just take your geranium. Okay, so geranium is the oil of love and trust. When I first smelled this, I hated it. I could not think, I could not stand it. It brings in that love, that trust, that real connection, and I just could not stand it. So I just put a drop on my hand. I've got some fractionated coconut oil, and I'm going to rub it all over my chest. Now I actually really like it. Very, very similar to rose essential oil in its constitutions, what it's made up of. And rose is the oil of divine love as well. All right, so hopefully you've got your paper there, and let's have a look at an emotion that you're feeling now, and let's work at what you could use for it. Okay, so geranium facilitates trust, especially to those that have been lost due to difficult life circumstances. It encourages emotional healing, emotional honesty, love, and forgiveness. It aids in healing the broken heart and facilitates the emergence of grief and pain that has been suppressed. Geranium could be called the emotional healer. Okay, so let's have a look at something that's, that is an emotional issue for you at this point of time. Now, it could be something small, it could be something big. You can write it if you want to, you can just keep it and write it down to yourself, and you can message me later and I'll help you figure out what oils could help support by looking at this if you don't want to write. But healing is a sacred journey. It actually takes a lot of courage to look at a situation and try and make a change instead of just going, okay, I'm just going to brush it under the carpet. Now, if you have ever read the book, it's behind here under a pile of about 1,000, You Can Heal Your Life. A really, really cool thing that I've learned over the past few years is that it was Luca, so my eldest, he gets cold sores all of the time. And I could not figure it out because in the Modern Essentials book, which is the book which has all of the medicinal solutions for things, I would look at cold sore, and the oils that it said never resonated. Okay, so for cold sore, it tells you what it is. And give me a second. It says tea tree and Melissa. Okay, so tea tree is all of energetic boundaries. Now, when I look into, and then this is what I do with any situation that comes up now. So the negative emotions with tea tree is parasitic, codependent relationship, poor boundaries, weak-willed, drained, and emotionally toxic. Now, when I was using tea tree to try and help support this cold sore, it wouldn't go away, and I was really annoyed to start with because tea tree is one of my favorite oils and it works. And I was like, I don't understand why it's not working for him. The next oil that it said in the Modern Essentials book to help support him was Melissa. Now, Melissa is the oil of light. It is like the bright, shining light to pull you up from the deepest, darkest places. Now, it helps to awaken the soul to truth and light. It's, and remind you who you actually really were when you came. What are you doing on this earth? It's deep, okay? But the negative emotions that it deals with is despairing, hopeless, dark, burden, loss of the will to life, and overwhelm. Now, at that time, he was not, he hadn't lost his will to live, but he's very overwhelmed. And what I've noticed now is any time that he is super overwhelmed, whether it be with emotional issues at home or school or whatever the situation, when he is overwhelmed, the next day, guarantee there'll be a cold sore come up. So then I know now to go to Melissa to help support him through that because it actually works. So when you're looking and dealing with things on that emotional level, if you don't fix these emotions, it stops the energy flowing, and they will eventually turn into they'll manifest in the physical body if they're not dealt with emotionally. So whenever something comes up, I always go, all right, even when I was sick a few weeks ago, I had a really sore throat, and I know 100% what the emotional issue was behind that and why I got sick. And it wasn't because I picked up something on the plane. It was because of something that I hadn't dealt with. And when you change your thinking and deal with things like that, it's very powerful, empowering to know, give you suggestions. All right, so back to you guys. So let's have a look at something that's coming up for you now. If you're just joining me, grab a piece of paper. Let's look at Where's my thing? What are you struggling with now? So what is something that has come into your life, or something, it might be that you feeling bad about the way you deal with the kids, or maybe you've got anxious feelings, or maybe you're heartbroken, or you're angry, or you're, I don't know, whatever's coming up for you now. So just take a minute to write that down. I just looked at my nails. I've been in the veggie patch. It looks disgusting. Sorry. Okay, so what occupies your mind at night? What keeps you awake? What makes you doubt or feel regret? This is such a powerful activity. All right, so once you've written that down, how is that affecting you today? Where are you seeing these things show up in your day-to-day life? Is it physically? Is it emotionally? Is it relationships? Is it at work? Where is it showing up for you, that issue that you're dealing with? Okay, if you've written a few things, choose the one that is most emotionally charged, the one that is the highest on your list of things that you want to try and change. And try and pinpoint how it makes you feel. So I'll give you a really good example. The angry blend that I did up probably a few years ago when I was trying to deal with Lennox and what I was feeling with him, I figured out what the emotions were. I was angry. I was, I can't even remember now. I was angry. Anyway, I can't even think of what the actual emotions were, but once I used that, I used a tiny amount. I used it for like 2 days and I was so sick. I felt like I'd been hit by a bus. And what was happening when I compared it to You Can Heal Your Life book by Louise Hay, all of those emotions that I'd been feeling that I wanted to address by making up that roller was what was coming out. So it has to come out some way. So that for me, that's how it came out. I got sick. But what happened at the end of that is that pathway was changed. I didn't snap. I still don't do it anymore. I don't snap at him the way that I was at that time. So it changed that pathway and changed the response of how I was dealing with that situation. So I haven't used any more of that because I haven't had to use it. So that's, now, does anyone want to give me any of the negative emotions that they wrote down of how they are feeling? And I'll see if I can find an essential oil that supports that. So example, confused, disconnected, unmotivated, broken, pained, abandoned, wounded, resentful, angry, overworked, stressed. If you want to text me or message me later, that's okay too, or whenever you're watching this as a replay. So what I would do then is I look at what oils to use and to put in my roller from the emotions that you're feeling. Choose the word that best matches what's on this, okay? Are there things that you're struggling with that you didn't notice before? So just write those down. Okay, lost. Thanks, babe. Now, if it's not in here, comforting blend. If it's more to do with lost, as in lost in where you're going in life, let me have a look. Purposeless. Roman chamomile and frankincense. So then what I do, and this is a great example, have a look at Roman chamomile. So these books are just from Aroma Tools, au.aromatools. Okay, so Roman chamomile is the oil of spiritual purpose. It helps individuals in discovering and living their true life's purpose. Regardless of what some people do for a living, they can find purpose and meaning of life. It assists persons in shedding the meaningless activities that consume their lives so they can focus on more fulfilling work, even when the work of their own souls. This oil assists in feeling connected and supported by divine helpers and guides, and calms insecurities about following a spiritual path. When in doubt, Roman chamomile softens the personality, eases the overactive ego mind. It restores one's confidence in doing what it came to the earth to do. It's all surrounded about the negative emotions of purposelessness, discouraged, drudgy, frustrated, unsettled. And it helps. The positive side of that is, using that would bring in emotions like purposeful, guided, peaceful, fulfilled, relaxed, and spiritually connected. The other option was frankincense. Now, frank is the oil of truth. So again, finding that your true person, who you are and what you are here to do. Frank on your third eye every day is not only amazing for your wrinkles, but just to help find yourself. I totally don't know the alphabet. That's why I stopped teaching, obviously. Frankincense, the oil of truth. It reveals deceptions and false truth. It invites individuals to let go of lower vibrations, lies, deceits, and negativity. This oil creates new perspective based on light and truth. It's great for things like abandonedness, spiritual disconnected, distance from Father, feeling unprotected, and spiritual darkness. So what I would do did one of those resonate with you more, and then I would be using that oil as an anchor. So I might say it was frank. Every day I'd be putting frankincense here and here. And I would just be using frankincense constantly until you kind of saw a little bit of a change. So that is the first part. Now, if any other emotions come up, let me know. Did one of those resonate more than the other? Okay, so the secret to change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. So let's have a look at vetiver. Vetiver comes from a root of a grass in Haiti. It smells like the dirt. I absolutely love, love, love it. If you can see, it's so thick. Look. I don't know. I just love all of those deep oils. Now, vetiver is all of centering descent. It helps you go deeper. So let's have a look at why. Okay, so let's have a look at why you're feeling like that. So vetiver assists individuals in deeply connecting with what they think and feel. In this way, is incredibly supportive in all kinds of self-awareness work and helps uncover the root of the emotional issue. It also helps them find relief once they have traveled within and met the core of their emotional issue. So let's have a look. Picture an onion. Let's peel back that next layer, okay, and figure out what it is about that emotional. Yeah, you need frankincense. Everyone needs frankincense. So that next layer back, let's figure out if they're limiting beliefs as well. And now this is when it all kind of, you put it all together. What is causing you to hold on to that emotional pattern, and what is the core? And then what happens if you don't uncover this root? Uncover the root. So take a moment to think about that. So the questions, what is causing you to hold on to these patterns? And where is the core? So you don't have to share, but you can just have to think. If you are watching live, you can just pause it for a few seconds so that you can finish writing. But what you will usually find is there's that inner critic. There's that person, that part of your brain that tells you constantly that you're not good enough, or you can't do that, or you can't do this, or you are this or that or whatever. And that inner critic is that loud voice that's just at you. You're not good enough to do that. You could never do that. You. So And you can have a look at all that telltale signs of what's happening in your brain between this inner critic and your voice. So the thing that you need to do is you need to recognize that and think about, if you're having a hard time identifying this voice, simply think about doing something big and bold and out of the box. Okay. The second I go, right, I am going to do whatever, then it's like, no, you can't do that. You're not good enough. You can't. This voice keeps coming back. So what comes to mind when I say that? Is there an inner critic that is at you about whatever your emotional issue was that you wrote down? And what you find is that whose voice is that inner critic? Where did it come from? And this is where it links back. So I had a really powerful healing done beginning of this year, and the things that came out were insane. I had no idea, but then you get these voices that are kind of coming out from your past or from your childhood or from things that's where it's all coming from. So it's trying to break that DNA, which I was talking about from before. The damaging dialogue your inner critic forms are your limiting beliefs, and it's trying to find a way through them. Okay, identify your limiting beliefs. Because of this voice inside, what do you believe to be true about yourself? It's hard and confronting. This is usually the point that people go, I'm so out of this. I don't want to do this anymore. But this is what it takes to heal, to get through. Okay? How do you see yourself? How do you define yourself? And what faults do you believe you have? So even if you don't write this down, even if you're just contemplating and thinking as I'm saying them, or pausing me in between. Now, if you didn't have that inner critic telling you all of these things, and you didn't have that voice and these limiting beliefs, what is that actually costing you? What would your life be like without this belief? And do you want that life? Do you still want to believe those things that are making you feel that, or are you ready to make a new choice? So we're going to try and discover the truth within. Okay, find that authentic voice. It may be quiet, it may be faint. In there is an authentic voice. It is truthful, kind, and wants the best for you. So there's this inner critic that's loud and telling you this and that, but there is one underneath, and that's the one you need to listen to. So take a moment and do a free writing exercise. Again, if you're just watching live, I won't give you too much time, so I'm not, but have a think. Remember, your authentic voice isn't as loud or as powerful as your inner critic. Resist the temptation to dismiss the soft voice and listen instead to that familiar critic. Do not edit, do not censor, write everything that comes to you. Do not lift your pen from the paper. Let everything flow continuously and give your authentic voice a space to be heard. I am statements work really well. If you, I am loved, I am happy, I am caring, I'm beautiful, I'm passionate, I'm whatever. And I'll stop talking actually. What does your authentic voice want you to know? What has it actually been trying to tell you? And are these things that the inner critic is actually telling you what the truth? Now, what are you truly capable of? What is the truth about you? What is the gift in this message, and hold it sacred? Write down how you will honor this voice in your daily life. All right. So what you're going to do now is you're going to find the emotions that you need to reinforce that your inner voice is telling you, not your critic, your inner voice. So have a look here. So are you intuitive, or are you belonging? Do you belong? Are you connected? Are you engaged? Are you playful or carefree or creative or buoyant? Are you helpful or beautiful? Is it body acceptance that you're in need of? Or perhaps you need to be calm and peaceful and balanced. What positive emotions did that inner voice tell you? This is the perfect way to make up an anchor oil to help remember what that authentic voice is actually telling you. So, an example was I made up my negative emotional oil to deal with when I was in that situation, when I was losing it and angry. That's what I was using. And then I also had a different one that I'd made up that I was using to anchor in all of the positive and all of the I ams that I am and what I was wanting to bring in, all of those manifesting type things. So is there any emotions that you're wanting to bring in? What do you want to feel? So, is it at peace? Is it empowered? Is it passionate or humble or supported? Loved? If anyone wants to write any emotions. So this month I have got a blend that I am using to anchor in what I wanted. So I wanted to feel empowered. So it has got ginger in it. I wanted to feel supported. It had birch in it. I wanted to feel enlightened. It had melissa. I wanted loved, which had geranium. And then that is the one that I will use every day for perfume for the whole month. Usually I'll kind of base it around the full moon. So this is really cool because it's almost a full moon to use this as an anchor for the next month to fix or to try and change that emotional response. If you are committed to partnering with the oils, use that as an anchor. Use it to massage into your heart for your mind and soul. So what are you truly capable of? Now, if you have peppermint oil there, peppermint is the oil of buoyant heart. So again, put it on your hands and just breathe it in. Peppermint brings joy and buoyancy to the heart and soul. It invigorates the mind, body, and spirit. It reminds individuals that life can be happy. They have to have the strength needed to face their emotional reality. If they don't have to be controlled by fear. Peppermint assists in redirecting the joys of being alive. So, if you want to send me a message about what you want to tell me, what the issues were that you were trying to deal with, the negative ones or the positive ones, and you can send me a message and I'll help you. I'll show you exactly what it says in here. But yeah, hopefully you have enjoyed this. Now, if you don't have your own wholesale account yet, obviously you need these oils to anchor in the emotional support needed. They're very, 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 very powerful. And I would say now I use them just as much for emotional support as I do medicinal and cleaning and all the rest of it. So they're really, 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 really powerful. So if you don't have a wholesale account yet, it's very easy to get one. What that means is that you have 25% off your essential oils for the year. You can order whenever you want, or you can just choose to start with one of the starter kits, or you can even choose to pay $35 and choose the oils to help you anchor in from today's class. It's up to you. I'm always here. Just reach out if you need assistance as to what kit or what solution is best for you. Now, when you get that wholesale account, you have access to my tribe and all of the online classes and support that we have. And yeah, it's such a powerful journey. So there is a there's an option to buy wholesale, but you don't want to do that. If you not see the share, if you do want to, sorry, these are the kits. So there's a starter kit which is $174, which has got the main essential oils in it, which will help medicinal. It'll do a bit of cleaning, a bit of cooking. It actually does have lavender, which is super calming. Lemon is uplifting. Peppermint is the oil of buoyant heart. Tea tree is energetic boundaries. Oregano is great for parasitic type relationships. Frankincense is the truth. Ice blue is the oil of surrendering pain. Easy air is the oil of breath. Now, easy air is one which is so, so powerful in opening up that space. It's full of free oils which help breathe. Okay, so if you are in a situation where you can't find your breath, Luca was doing this the other day. He got in trouble so bad that he was like hyperventilating. So this is what I pulled out. He got in trouble because he didn't pick up his socks or something ridiculous. Digestin, so that is the oil of, I don't know, leave that one with me. And On Guard is your protective blend. So, that starts at $174. It's an amazing kit to start with. And then you've got your home essentials, which is actually much better value. It's double the price for 3 times the amount of oils. But this is the actual emotional aromatherapy kit. So if you watch from the beginning, you have Motivate, Cheer, Passion, Forgive, Console, Peace, and a diffuser. It's $310, and that has your wholesale accounts for the whole year as well. So there's a few different options. If you do want to set up, just go to mitoterra.com/Mummapath and click join and save, and then put in all of your details. So it's so easy to do. And then, of course, you get access to everybody, to me, and all of the extra online training and things. So hopefully you have enjoyed the class. Is there anyone that has got any questions? A few tips. If you're wanting the resources, these are all from au.aromatools. Brilliant. I use them all of the time when I'm mixing up all of my blends, even things like this. This is a great little one. Essential oils and emotion. So if you're wanting to feel happy, it's not very clear. Happy, balanced, uplifting, worry, grief, comfort, calm, focused. There's a few options there. So you get one of those when you get the wholesale account as well. I send you out a little pack of presents. What else was I going to say? The other book that I would really recommend is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, because what it tells you in the back is all of that stuff that I was talking about before about your how your emotions manifest in the physical. So, if you're having an issue with a cold sore, it actually is meaning that it's something completely different. I'll see if I can grab it. So any other questions? This class is, this usually takes me 2 hours or so to do this, because usually I give you a lot more time to write the answers and to actually get to the bottom of why you're feeling what you're feeling about that particular issue that came up for you. So here you go. This is a good example of in the back. So say you've got psoriasis. The probable cause is fear of being hurt, deadening the senses of self, refusing to accept responsibility for own feelings, and a new thought pattern that you can use as well. So what I was doing when I was angry, I was using that with the new thought pattern and then anchoring it in that way, and it worked very, very quickly. All right. So if there's no other questions, I will love you and leave you. Please message me if you need any help with anything. I'd love to support you, and I cannot wait until you get your own essential oil wholesale account and join the tribe, and it'll be amazing. So have a beautiful afternoon. See ya.